The last place I wanted to be was Frostnipistan.
This one's wife, the staff bully. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The most bullying of narcissists is the upper lesser type B. Brash, bold, belligerent, bombastic, and a bully. However, any narcissist could engage in a form of bullying whereby they would utilize some kind of form of leverage over an individual in order to compel compliance, i.e., to ensure that person comes under control. In some instances, it might be physical violence. It might be the threat of something that bullies an individual. For instance, a bullying boss threatening to dismiss somebody, threatening to demote somebody, threatening somebody with a pay cut, threatening someone with additional work, threatening them with a transfer to an unpopular area of the business. Invariably, the narcissist will bully their intimate partner primary source, and that takes place behind closed doors, particularly where you're dealing with a mid-range or greater narcissist. But it's not just the intimate partner primary source that can end up bullied. It is other people around the narcissist, and where it's a mid-range narcissist, they won't do that bullying in public. The facade management ensures that doesn't take place, but they may well bully somebody away from the public gaze, behind a closed door, in murky corridors, where it's just the narcissist and that other individual, enabling the narcissist to rely upon plausible deniability of my word against theirs. This one's wife, being a haughty, arrogant, self-obsessed narcissist, who invariably plays the victim, would bully individuals also. She wouldn't do so publicly. Her facade management would preclude her from doing so. But given the fact that there is that fury churning beneath the surface, ready to be ignited and utilized by the narcissism, it is no surprise that she would bully Harry behind closed doors, potentially bully the children to the extent that they exist, that she would bully domestic staff to ensure they do what she wants, that she would bully people at her agency, shouting at them in Zoom meetings, that she would bully the staff that she was involved in when she was in the royal family in the United Kingdom. This would have been particularly likely because this one's wife wanted it her own way. And of course, narcissists do not take kindly to being told no. She thought, and she continues to do so, that she knows better than everybody else. And when she was first involved with the royal family, she would have wanted to do things her own way because of her sense of entitlement. She wouldn't have obeyed the protocol and the conventions because of her lack of accountability. She would deem that her way was more appropriate, and the ways that had been utilised for centuries by the royal family would be arcane, ridiculous, and what's the point? Because she has no concept of respect, because she doesn't understand what deference means, because she doesn't see that she has to fit in with them, but they have to fit in with her. She's not living in their world. Everybody is living in her world, which means that she would have repeatedly come up against some form of resistance. She'll have been told, no, that's not how we do things. That isn't appropriate. It doesn't work that way. And all of those amount to threats to control, which will have resulted in her fury igniting in certain instances, causing her to lash out at the individual that has dared to tell her no, or it doesn't work that way. Thus, it's entirely conceivable that away from the public gaze, this one's wife as a narcissist will have bullied people. And the bullying allegations have come to the fore again, this time courtesy of page 6, and an article by Nikki Goistin. This one's wife's former aide confirms she was interviewed regarding allegations that staff was bullied. A trusted royal aide has confirmed she was interviewed regarding bullying allegations levelled against this one's wife. Samantha Cohen, who was a member of the royal staff for nearly 20 years, shared in a recent interview with the Herald Sun that she was one of 10 staff members questioned about the claims. Although she declined to elaborate, Cohen, 54, alluded to the staff turnover. Thus, in effect, whilst not saying that she was a bully, has alluded to the fact that because there was such a high staff turnover, that there must have been something that was going wrong. I was only supposed to stay for 6 months, but stayed for 18. We could not find a replacement for me. And when we did, we took them on tour to Africa with Harry and this one's wife to show them the ropes. But they quit as well, while in Africa, she said. That failure to hang around speaks volumes as to the way that the individual was treated, and also in relation to demonstrating the culture that prevailed. News of this one's wife's alleged bullying first became public days before her and Prince Harry's explosive 2021 sit-down with Oprah Winfrey. The Times of London reported that the Suits alum, 42, occasionally reduced staff members to tears while she lived at Kensington Palace, which again suggests bullying behaviour. 2 senior members of the palace staff were allegedly bullied into quitting their jobs. The couple's communications assistant at the time, Jason Knorf, reported the behaviour to Prince William's then private secretary Simon Case in October 2018. I am very concerned that the Duchess was able to bully 2 PAs out of the household in the past year. The treatment of X was totally unacceptable, the HR complaint read. The Duchess seems intent on always having someone in her sights, Knorf reportedly continued. She is bullying Y and seeking to undermine her confidence. We have had report after report from people who have witnessed unacceptable behaviour towards Y. He added, I remain concerned that nothing will be done. The palace later announced it would be launching an investigation, but the findings would not be released. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex strenuously denied, the first line of the twin lines of the narcissistic defence, denied the claims and issued a strongly worded statement. Let's just call this what it is, a calculated smear campaign based on misleading and harmful misinformation. We are disappointed to see this defamatory portrayal of the Duchess of Sussex given credibility by a media outlet. This is naturally the response of a narcissist to such allegations. Narcissists bully. It's not something that's unusual. Furthermore, having been accused of that, that amounts to a threat to control, which would ultimately result in a denial and the suggestion that, of course, she's the victim, that she is the one that has been the victim of a smear campaign, that people have been awful towards her. The fact is that, alluding to the high staff turnover, the comments of Jason Knorf, the references to other witnesses, all support the suggestion that this one's wife did indeed engage in the behaviours of which she was accused. Furthermore, by virtue of the fact that she is a narcissist, we know that a narcissist could well behave in a bullying fashion because of that sense of entitlement, that a mid-range narcissist would do so away from the public gaze, off the book, so to speak, that this is done to assert control because any suggestion that she can't do what she wants is a threat to control and that must be dealt with, and her fury would ignite, causing her to lash out in a way which would be seen as bullying. Below the line, what do people think about this suggestion, which of course has raised its head once again? Liz W. writes, I think that now people are coming forward to report who this one's wife really is, she will finally get her comeuppance. Someone is having a meltdown right now in California. Monty Shitshow Pap, the monarchy couldn't tolerate the staff being bullied and mistreated. What luck has WME had getting this one's wife big deals using her own merits? Haven't the duo made their millions bad-mouthing the royal family and telling their truth? Aren't they both known as grifters and liars? Lorney, people earn their reputations. Dar721, well, yeah, this one's wife apparently was quite the drill sergeant, and she's selling herself as some kind of woke Californian guru, you know, love, compassion, yoga, etc., and she's now a cookery expert trying to cash in on a royal connection. A joke. Susie Smith, I suggest people look at the photos of this one's wife at the polo match in Florida. She stands very close to the white men and to Nacho Fulguera's white wife in separate photos. Also, Notice how distant she is to the black lady to her left after she told her to move away from Harry. Those little details don't go unnoticed. Fancy Vandy. Open the floodgates. We all knew this would come out. The palace has spoken. Margaret Smith. The Harkles have had many staff turnovers while in California too. They both are bullies, and this is why their projects will never succeed. People just don't like them. Karina Kay. No mention of the alleged scissors incident? The alleged throwing of the hot tea incident? Ophelia. This one's wife's behaviour gives the reports of bullying credibility. Harry and this one's wife call the people being bullied liars and the media shysters. Narcissists always shift blame. Indeed, Ophelia, you're entirely correct. Thus, although Samantha Cohen doesn't actually speak directly about the bullying allegations, she confirmed she was interviewed and made reference to the high staff turnover which occurred, which does give some credence to the allegations that have been made. Might the bullying allegations finally come out at some juncture? Who knows? But the fact is, it isn't a surprise to anybody to believe that this one's wife would be capable of behaving in such a way. The fact is that she, as a narcissist, would engage in bullying behaviour behind the scenes, and there's plenty of evidence which supports it also. And the fact that this is being raised by Page Six again, a number of years after it, shows that this simply isn't going to go away, and these allegations continue to follow the Duchess of Sussex around, threatening her need for control. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.